In the heart of the dense woods, where the shadows danced to the rhythm of swaying branches, I celebrated my 12th birthday with a camping trip to my grandparents' secluded cabin. Little did I know that the flickering candles on my birthday cake would cast shadows that concealed an unsettling visitor waiting to emerge from the darkness. The air was thick with the scent of pine as we gathered around the crackling campfire, roasting marshmallows and sharing laughter. My family and I reveled in the simplicity of the outdoors, surrounded by the comforting embrace of nature. As the night settled in, my grandparents, who owned a cabin not far from our campsite, suggested we spend the night there to make my birthday extra special. Excitement bubbled within me as we navigated the narrow trail leading to the cabin. The moonlight painted a silver path through the towering trees, guiding us to the wooden haven that held cherished memories of family retreats. My grandparents assured us that they had left the cabin unlocked for our stay. Upon arrival, the cabin welcomed us with its rustic charm, a place frozen in time, adorned with vintage photographs and echoes of shared laughter. We settled in, each claiming a cozy corner for the night. Exhausted from the day's adventures, I drifted into a peaceful slumber beneath the warmth of knitted blankets. My eyes snapped open to an unfamiliar sensation, an eerie awareness that something was amiss. The room, dimly lit by the moon's glow, revealed a figure sitting on the edge of the bed. Panic gripped me as I strained my eyes to make out the silhouette. A stranger, a man, sat hunched over, as if lost in thought. My breath caught in my throat as I attempted to process the surreal scene. Fear nestled in the corners of my mind as I considered the implications of an intruder in the cabin. The stranger seemed oblivious to my awakening, his presence a silent intrusion on the sanctity of my 12th birthday celebration. Summoning the courage I didn't know I possessed, I mustered a shaky whisper. "Who are you?" The intruder, shrouded in the darkness, turned his head ever so slightly, acknowledging my presence without uttering a single word. His silence spoke volumes, sending shivers down my spine. The minutes stretched into an eternity as I lay there paralyzed by fear and confusion. Without warning, the man rose from the bed, his movements deliberate yet devoid of aggression. My eyes followed him as he moved towards the door, vanishing into the night without a backward glance. The door cracked shut, leaving me alone in the haunting stillness of the cabin. Questions swirled in my mind. Was it a drunken mistake? A lost wanderer seeking refuge? The unsettling nature of the encounter lingered, casting a shadow over the innocence of my birthday celebration. Frantically, I woke my family, recounting the strange visitor who had invaded our temporary sanctuary. They assured me it must have been a harmless mistake, a wandering soul seeking shelter. However, the unease persisted, and sleep eluded me as the night wore on. Dawn broke, revealing the cabin in the soft morning light. The incident, shrouded in the darkness of the night, took on an almost dreamlike quality. My family, eager to dismiss the encounter as a mere blip in our celebration, prepared to leave the cabin behind. As we ventured back to our campsite, the forest whispered secrets that sent a chill down my spine. The unease lingered, a silent reminder that the woods held mysteries beyond our understanding. The cabin, once a haven of warmth, now echoed with the unsettling encounter that defied easy explanations. The advice born from this unnerving experience is etched in the fabric of my memory. Even in the safety of familiar places, the unknown can intrude, casting shadows on the most joyous occasions. The woods, with their ancient secrets, demand our respect and caution. And as the flickering candles on my 12th birthday cake gave way to the morning light, I carried with me a newfound awareness, a lingering sense that some encounters, no matter how brief, can leave a lasting imprint on the soul. It was a warm summer afternoon in southern Mississippi, and the sun cast a golden glow over the dense woods that surrounded our secluded cabin. At the age of 10, I relished the freedom of exploring the wilderness, armed with nothing but a fishing rod and the company of my loyal dog, Rex. The air buzzed with the chorus of cicadas as I ventured towards the serene fishing spot along the riverbank. Rex bounded ahead, his tail wagging with unbridled excitement. The tranquility of the woods enveloped us, and for a moment, all seemed right with the world. As I cast my line into the still waters, a strange unease settled over me. The gentle rustling of leaves seemed to carry whispers, and an unshakable feeling of being watched crept over my young shoulders. Rex, usually exuberant, lowered his head and growled, his gaze fixed on the tree line. I dismissed my unease as childish imagination, chalking it up to the mysterious charm of the woods. But as the sun dipped lower in the sky, shadows danced along the trail leading back to the cabin, and my instinct screamed that something was amiss. Rex's growls intensified, and he bared his teeth, his protective instincts kicking in. I scanned the tree line, and there, emerging from the shadows, was a figure, tall and slender. Its movements were unnatural, a haunting dance between the trees. Fear gripped me as the figure drew nearer, and my heart pounded like the war drums of an unseen threat. Panic surged as I realized the figure had no reflection in the water, and a chilling revelation took hold. I was not alone in the Mississippi woods. A sense of impending danger fueled my desperate decision to abandon my fishing gear and sprint back to the safety of the cabin. Rex, sensing the urgency, kept pace by my side, his eyes fixed on the advancing figure. The forest seemed to close in around us, the shadows now menacing specters that whispered ancient secrets. I dared not look back, but the phantom footsteps echoed relentlessly. The safety of the cabin felt like an eternity away. As we burst into the clearing around our cabin, relief washed over me, but the figure remained in pursuit, hovering at the edge of the tree line. Panic set in as I fumbled to lock the cabin door, the fear of the unknown a weight on my trembling hands. Rex, sensing my distress, positioned himself between me and the figure, his growls now a symphony of defiance. The figure, still and silent, stared at us with eyes devoid of humanity. The realization struck like a thunderbolt. This was no ordinary threat. This was a menace from the supernatural, a vampire stalking the Mississippi woods. As the night unfolded, the figure continued its silent vigil. Its haunting gaze pierced through the cabin windows, and the air became thick with a malevolent energy. Rex, ever vigilant, stood guard, his loyalty unwavering in the face of the unknown. The climax came when the figure, unable to breach the cabin, let out a blood-curdling scream that echoed through the woods. It was a sound that transcended the boundaries of the natural, a call of the supernatural. Just as the scream reached its crescendo, the first rays of dawn broke through the horizon. The figure recoiled, its form dissolving like mist in the morning sun. The threat had passed, leaving behind an eerie silence that clung to the cabin like a ghostly residue. Law enforcement, alerted by the commotion, arrived at the cabin. They found no traces of the supernatural, dismissing the encounter as a child's overactive imagination. But I knew the truth. The woods held secrets that defied explanation, and the encounter with the vampire was a testament to the unseen terrors that lurk in the shadows. The advice to the listener: the woods, while beautiful, can hide mysteries beyond our comprehension. Sometimes the supernatural may encroach on the natural, and in those moments, it's crucial to prioritize your safety. Whether facing the unknown or the supernatural, a loyal companion can be your greatest ally. And remember, even in the face of the paranormal, the dawn of a new day can bring salvation. The air was thick with anticipation as my friends and I embarked on a summer escape to a remote lakeside cabin in Washington. Nestled between towering trees and surrounded by the serene beauty of nature, the cabin promised an idyllic retreat. Little did we know that our peaceful vacation would soon descend into a nightmarish encounter with the unknown. Our second day at the cabin dawned bright and promising. Eager for adventure, we decided on a fishing trip to the secluded lake hidden deep in the woods. The trail leading to the water's edge was dappled with sunlight, casting a picturesque glow on our surroundings. As we cast our lines into the still waters of the lake, laughter and camaraderie echoed through the woods. The day unfolded in a blissful haze, with the sun setting in a blaze of orange and pink. However, as evening shadows embraced the landscape, an unsettling chill replaced the warmth of the day. On our journey back to the cabin, the forest seemed to transform. The once inviting trail became a murky tunnel, the trees closing in around us like silent spectators. Unease gripped me, but I dismissed it as the product of an overactive imagination. Our laughter faded into hushed whispers as a figure emerged from the shadows. A man, clad in tattered clothing, stood on the trail ahead, his eyes, hollow and vacant, locked onto ours with an intensity that sent shivers down our spines. "Evening," he muttered, his voice a haunting whisper that seemed to carry through the rustling leaves. We nodded, hesitantly, uneasy under his gaze. Ignoring the encounter, we quickened our pace, attempting to distance ourselves from the mysterious stranger. However, he matched our every step. The woods whispered with a disconcerting breeze, as if the very air carried the secrets of the forest. Panic blossomed within me as I realized the man was not just a passerby. He was a relentless pursuer in the gathering darkness. We broke into a run, the forest now a labyrinth of twisting trails and obscured moonlight. The man's footsteps echoed ominously behind us, his presence an unshakable shadow. Fear gripped us as we stumbled through the underbrush, desperately seeking the safety of our cabin. As we burst through the cabin door, gasping for breath, the eerie atmosphere lingered. Peering through the windows, we saw the man standing at the edge of the clearing, his eyes fixed on us. He didn't move, like a specter suspended in time. Days turned into nights, but the haunting presence persisted. The man stood at the edge of the clearing each evening, a silent observer of our every move. The once inviting woods became a prison, trapping us with an unknown threat. One fateful night, unable to endure the torment any longer, I confronted the mysterious figure. Armed with a flashlight, I ventured into the darkness. The woods whispered with unseen voices, a cacophony of secrets that seemed to swirl around me. As I approached the clearing, the man turned to face me. His eyes, devoid of humanity, pierced through the darkness. I demanded answers, my voice trembling with a mix of fear and frustration. His response was a single, haunting sentence: "The woods choose who stays and who leaves." With those words, the forest erupted in a symphony of unearthly sounds. Shadows danced and twisted, enveloping the man until he vanished into the night. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, leaving me alone in the clearing, surrounded by the fading echoes of the unknown. The advice to the listener. Nature has its mysteries, and sometimes the beauty of the wilderness conceals forces beyond our understanding. Trust your instincts when the atmosphere turns ominous, and never dismiss the whispers of the unknown. In the heart of tranquility, shadows may lurk, and the line between the natural and the supernatural can blur.